tends to be a lot of misconceptions around this. You did mention before this trying to fit all the sort of key points or product features on a page, and then because it's so long, that sort of that higher order value proposition kind of gets lost in the weeds, and people just don't know what it does. So sometimes saying less can be more effective than saying more. So are there sort of some common misconceptions that we can kind of dispel right now?
It's this wonderful creative thing. It's like Apple copy. It's like, oh, it's 2 words, and it's like, oh, it's beautiful, and everyone's going to buy it because of these 2 words. I think a lot of really effective copy, it's ugly. It's not necessarily ugly. You can find a nice way of expressing it, but it's words taken from the customer's own mouth as much as possible, and that's not as polished all the time as what my company might want to say, but you know what? It's what works. And again, this is why a lot of marketers struggle with their copywriting, because they try to polish it. We want it to sound sleek. We want it to sound sophisticated and cool. It's like, but in doing that, you lose the interest of the people because it sounds like marketing. People resonate with things that don't sound like marketing. There's sometimes, again, if there's a gap between marketing and sales within the organization, so marketing will feel it's not our job to sell, and sales will be, well, it's not our job to market. Like the customer should come through with some knowledge of what we do before they find themselves in a demo, otherwise we won't be able to sell to them. Sometimes you just need, if that message is clear, if there is a real need in the market, you sometimes just need to come out with that one single clearest expression of what you do. As in the other case of the freelancer platform, there's an easier way to work with freelancers. It's like so everything else, forget about it. There is an easier way, and it was like we weren't bashing competitors, we weren't doing any. It was just what like we know that you're dealing with other solutions, hacked together solutions. There is a better way. Just that simplicity sometimes of that message, that one thing that you do really well, and shining that light on it makes a huge difference. And the third thing, as you pointed, as you did also touch on before, it's the length of copy. Length is not relevant. How concise the copy is. Like, length is relevant when you're looking at, again, if you're looking at brand awareness versus the sales page versus, there's all kinds of things where length does come into play. But the more expensive the product, the more uneducated the customer. The longer the buying cycle usually is, the more sophisticated the audience in terms of their general knowledge, the more copy you need to explain the value of your product. You have to tell them more. So I think if people are using that per word, like cents per word mindset or dollar per word mindset, I think they're still outsource it to ChatGPT. Seriously, like if you're looking for volume, go to ChatGPT.